What is up YouTube, and apologies in advance for my ultra shitty microphone. A new year of games awaits us, but the question many people who want to change to an ultra-wide monitor ask is, can my PC handle 21:9 in 2017? The answer, of course, depends on what you are planning on using an ultra-wide monitor for. For productivity purposes, any semi-decent processor could do the trick, although packing a budget GPU like the GTX 1050 does help ease the load off the CPU. But what about games? This is where it gets a little more in depth. At 2560 by 1080, an ultra-wide monitor packs around 2.7 million pixels compared to 1920 by 1080p monitor, which has a little over 2 million. This makes an ultra-wide monitor consume roughly 30% more frames per second than a 16:9 monitor. For 2017, the absolute minimum GPU you are going to want to be using to game at 21:9 on near max or max settings is the GTX 970. The only issue with the 970 is the 3.5GB of VRAM, which could get in the way of performance, especially since modern games use far more VRAM than they ever did before. My personal recommendation for having a good experience at 2560 by 1080 is either the GTX 980 or GTX 1060 if you like Nvidia. If you ride for Team Red, the Rx480 is also a good pick for 21:9 60 frames per second at max or near max settings. The gameplay footage shown in this video was recorded with a GTX 980 and an i7. The 980 is capable of achieving a solid 60 frames per second in all games shown, although the recording is a little jittery for Doom, which I believe is an issue caused by Shadowplay not working properly with Doom. If you're planning on getting a 2560 by 1080p monitor, I would recommend going for the newer cards, those being the 1060 or the Rx480, as the GTX 980 is limited somewhat on the VRAM front, having only 4GB, while the 1060 and Rx480 are available in 6GB and 8GB versions respectively. This changes pretty significantly if you're opting for a higher resolution 3440 by 1440p ultra-wide. At this resolution, your screen consists of just under 5 million pixels, more than double that of a 2560 by 1080p monitor, although not quite coming close to 4K's 8 million pixels. To push this many pixels out at 60 FPS on high or max settings, you're going to need something pretty beefy. A GTX 1070, as shown in this graph, is capable of achieving a frame rate of just under 60 FPS at higher settings in Rise of the Tomb Raider, a pretty damn graphically demanding game. This goes for most other modern titles, with Witcher 3 running at 56 FPS and Rainbow Six Siege running at exactly 40 FPS. That's bordering into bad frame rates, especially for a first-person shooter. As such, I'd recommend a minimum of a single GTX 980 Ti, and to be on the safe side, a 1070. If you want the best performance regardless of budget at this resolution, go for a GTX 1080, or alternatively a good option is the Rx480 in Crossfire, which rivals the 1080, although certain games don't support multi-GPU configurations. This brings me to my next point. Is ultra-wide worth it? I'd probably say yes, especially if comparing higher resolutions. The 3440 by 1440p resolution provides great sharpness and clarity while not being quite as demanding as 4K, offering a perfect balance between the two. Anyway, 21:9 monitors are cool for other reasons, such as natively supporting movie playback with no black bars and having a higher FOV in games without suffering as bad of a fisheye effect. The GPUs I suggested are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video or thought it was useful or informative, be sure to drop a like and comment below. Feedback is definitely appreciated, and for more awesome content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll shut up now and let you enjoy the remainder of the 21:9 gameplay included in this video.
I am a leaf on the wind.
Freedom.
I thought I heard something.